ಬಿ ರೋಮನ್ ಇನ್ ವೆನ್ ಯೂರ್ ಇನ್ ರೋಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ಭಾಳ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇದಿದೆ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ. ಯು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಬಿ ಗೋವನ್ ವೆನ್ ಯೂರ್ ಇನ್ ಗೋವಾ. ಪಕ್ಕಾ ಗೋವನ್ ಆಗಿ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬ್ರೇಕ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಬಿಸಿಲಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಣ್ಣಗಿದೆ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್. ಓವರ್ ಟು ರಾಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್.
Sir, very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, are you all ready for the Rotary Idol? All right, so the Rotary Idol is happening at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So we'll have a quick break for lunch, and then from 1:15, 1:30 to about 3 o'clock, Zarir Bata and team have worked very hard. There are 12 outstanding singers who are here. So please now use the phone and send an SMS or a WhatsApp to all your friends who are not there in the room. Tell them to get here as quickly as possible. You don't have to pick up the phone if they call you back, but you can send an SMS or a WhatsApp. Otherwise you'll think, what is this inconsistent fellow? He tells us to do one now and then a little later. Right. We move on to our next session. Sudhakar Madhyastha, can I request your help, please? Sudhakar, which is the vocational services session, and may I call on stage the following people. Sunil, who's the Aptamitra convener, to please join us on stage. Rotarian B.K. Krishnamurthy, the Vocational Services Director. Sir, may I request you to please take your seat there. You're both here, sir. B.K. Krishnamurthy and Sunil, this side. We have a very interesting panel that we put together for you. So can I have past District Governor Rotarian Vishu, the conference mentor, to please join me on stage. Along with him, we put together a very young team of people. Can I get Rotarian Ambika Narayan from Rotary Indiranagar to join us? Can I get Rotarian Vivek Prabhu from Rotary Bangalore to join us? Can I get Rotarian Venkatesh from Udyog to join us? Is Vijay Tadibala around? Vijay, I think, will excuse himself because he is busy with the lunch. All right, the next quick update for all of you. The CM will be here at 12 o'clock sharp. So we need to do a little bit of a hard stop on this particular session. And Sunil? So we need to do a little bit of a hard stop on this session.
Now I request Director Vocational Service B.K. Krishnamurthy to give his overview.
Very good morning, friends. I think people are not happy because no health break. So nobody is telling good morning. Good morning! So that sounds nice. So I bring greetings from the vocational service team. At the outset, I would like to thank District Governor for giving me this opportunity. We conducted ICGF on vocational service on 18th October 2015 at KGF. And this was jointly organized by Rotary Bangalore Junction, my own club, and Rotary KGF. This ICGF was well received and appreciated. Past District Governor Rotarian Nagendra and past District Governor Rotarian Manandi Suresh were awarded with Rotary Ratna Awards in that ICGF. Two other personalities were awarded Vocational Excellence Award, one in education field and other one in the industry. The various committees are working on their respective areas with their clubs of our district. Due to paucity of time, I will not be able to elaborate on the details. We have an ambitious Rotary Seva Setu project. It is called the Habba, being planned in April. This is our vocational service team gift to this world. The purpose of this initiative is to bring various NGOs on one platform, discuss various services being done by them, and further deliberate on how Rotary can collaborate with them. Giving them info about corporate social responsibility and how to raise the fund from CSR. Encourage the clubs to identify the NGOs in their areas and invite them for this Habba. We are working on this project with various subcommittees. This event is being spearheaded by Rotarian Jayashree of West. We are trying to bring Karmappa, the deputy of Dalai Lama, as the chief guest for the event. Other speakers are being finalized. I would like to specially thank vocational service team, Councillor Mr. N. Krishnamurthy from Indiranagar is not here today, but we thank him for all his support and guidance. Many clubs have done wonderful job. Rotary Bangalore, in fact, has come out with the initiative of making a small movie on four-way test, and they are on the job. I think it will be released shortly. This will be screened in various theaters and other places. So this will help to encourage four-way test and publicize the same. I have attended many clubs. Indiranagar is doing exceedingly well. So is South and Metro, and a couple of more clubs. I have attended their vocational service award, and skill development centers of Vijayanagar also is well appreciated. They are doing an excellent job. So I request all my team members, whoever is here, to stand and get recognized for the excellent job done. Please, all of them, give a big hand to them. Thank you.
Can I also request Rotarian Gopal Reddy, President Gopal Reddy, to please join us on the dais? Gopal? Please come, join us.
Gopal Reddy is one of the outstanding presidents so far, doing very well. May I request Gopal Reddy to introduce the panelists?
First of all, I am very thankful to our DG to give this opportunity on the dais. So in vocational service, our Ram Jeshu and Ram Prasad giving a great service to in that field. I am very happy. And also, in my part of work, in rural side, I was introduced to new clubs, Srinivaspur and as well as Malur. Yes. Sir, President's representative, I am very happy to introduce this Rotarian Ram Sheshu, PDG Rotarian Vishnu, Rotarian Vivek Prabhu, Rotarian Venkatesh, Udyog, Rotarian Vijay, Tadmala, Rotarian Ambika. I am very thankful to once again to give an opportunity today.
Thank you, President Gopal Reddy. You are doing a fantastic job. Now, over to Ram for the next 15 minutes.
So good afternoon, everybody. I'm sure that all of you have heard the four-way test, and I'm sure that on the four-way test, all of us have our own impression, have our own take on the applicability of the four-way test to today. The four-way test was created in 1932 by Rotarian Herbert J. Taylor when he was asked to take charge of a company that was on the verge of bankruptcy. And originally, actually, he'd written down 7 points on how he will deal with people in helping the company pull out of its bankruptcy. And finally, the magnanimity of Rotarian Herbert Taylor, that he gifted the rights of the 4-way test. It was whittled down to 4 and given to Rotary, and Rotary adopted the 4-way test. And since then, we've been using the 4-way test as a lodestar to help us determine how we will behave in terms of business. So today on the panel, I have 4 very interesting people. Past District Governor Vishu, who I'm going to come back to later in the discussion. I have Ambika, who all of you know is past president of Indiranagar, currently an assistant governor. I have Ambika runs a very interesting jewelry boutique outlet. I have Vivek Prabhu, fellow colleague from the Rotary Club of Bangalore. Vivek runs a very large industrial textiles company called Priyafil. And then we have Rotarian Venkatesh from Udyog, and he runs a very interesting company in the area of rubber. And he's just set up, out of his passion, a very interesting Ayurvedic hospital, because he genuinely believes that Ayurveda is the future. All of you are, of course, aware of PDG Vishu. So let me give you one of the takes that we've been discussing about the 4-way test with the panel. So the first part is it the truth? Now, if you look at any business, there are 4 broad aspects to any business. And if that business has to sustain, if it has to grow, then you need to look after 4 things. 1, will you all agree with me, is the customer? Can I have a yes? That we're all here because of the customer. So if the customers are there, then business is there. Are there no customers, there are no business. The second is the employees who work for us. Do they believe that what you do in your company is fair to all concerned, which is the second aspect of the 4-way test. And the third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? The point is that we can't work in isolation. All our businesses today need to work with a whole host of suppliers, vendors, and make sure that these suppliers and vendors are people who will continue to participate in the progress of our own business. And finally, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And the take is that you can't run a business today if you are not paying your debt back to society, if you are not paying your taxes on time, if you are not being a good corporate citizen. So these are the 4 interesting aspects of the 4-way test, and we've got 4 interesting panelists who are going to talk to us about how they run their business from these 4 aspects. So let me begin with Ambika. Ambika, morning. Is it the truth? So how do you make sure that every piece of jewelry that goes out of your outlet to your customers is modeled on the principle of, is it the truth?
Thank you, Ram. Good morning to everybody. Each establishment or organization has their own systems and policies. We work differently. As jewelers, we work by reference. Most people consider or ask us, is it by appointment? So we say, no, it's not by appointment, because that's a different way of working. Ours is by reference, simply because we believe when a customer comes in, there needs to be some sort of a comfort level that they have, that, they know somebody, they can trust somebody. So it all begins with references, and we think that word of mouth has a great impact with people. When a customer steps out happily and spreads the word about how your setup is, how good it is, the others would have heard it first time, second time, third time. When they hear it for the 10th time, they know that there is something here, and there's people that we can trust. And at our company, again, we work in more in terms of giving time, in terms of building relationships, because that's what matters. And by the way, business happens. So the trust factor has to be embedded with each and every customer. And if we do, once the trust factor is built, there is no way anybody would go back unhappy. And
Right. So what we'll do, Ambika, is that we'll come back to you in just a while. That was the opening statement of yours. Can I bring Venkatesh into the talk? Venkatesh runs a very interesting company that is into rubber products. Fascinating story, Venkatesh. How are every one of your people believing that you run a fair company? So, what are some employee policies that you practice?
Good morning, all of you. I'm really proud to be here. I will go informal because I want to speak my heart. I don't want to write down or bring something else formally. Actually, what is the improvement I've seen in my company, I just want to tell you, then how I reached it. That is very important. The improvement I've seen in my company is no attrition from last 3 years, zero attrition, and absenteeism is almost nil, 98% in the company, and no fight, internal fights. That's the biggest challenge in the company. There's no internal fights.
Venkatesh, are you talking about something which is real? I mean, this is unbelievable.
Exactly, it is. I cannot prove here. If you, when any one of you visit my company, you can see. No fight, no internal fight in my company.
Will you talk to us about the prayer that you start
I'm going to say that. Yes. And I'm just telling you the improvement and how I reach. I'll tell you. Then there is a very good cooperation in each other, and the turnover has increased in 3 years double. Wow. This is the fact. I have a records. And everybody is well dressed. Particularly, I had a big challenge. Shaving up male was the biggest challenge. They was not doing it. Now, no one comes without shaving. It was the biggest challenge. I've achieved it. I can't say achieved. I've seen improvement. And everybody is focusing on work. And all are willing to learn and also to teach. Today, believe me, sir, all of you, I have told the Rashtrageet along with my employees today. Can you believe this? 8:30, there was a call from my employees. The mobile was on. Along with them, I have told the Rashtrageet. Along with them.
Wow. That is amazing. Fantastic.
How I have done this? That's very, very important. See, I have got a certain belief, certain values, what I created within myself. And end of the session, end of the talk, I'm going to tell you what is my burning desire and aspiration. To that only I'm working for. My serious belief, very strong belief is attitude versus behavior. I take example as most envious person, my friend. I can say my friend is Mr. Nagesh. Attitude versus behavior. Way back when he started his company, probably he was thinking to name a company. He has thought seriously. That is his attitude. He is unique. And he has practiced uniquely. Even today, even yesterday. Whole of his life is unique. Probably Uma Madam will accept this.
All right,
will accept
Venkatesh,
it.
thank you so much. So I'll come back to you, Venkatesh, in a minute. Let's get to Vivek Prabhu. Vivek, how old is your firm? You're a second generation entrepreneur.
Well, we were established in 1972 by my father. And if you can allow me, Ram, I've been your secretary last year, so I've meticulously prepared a comment. Am I allowed that 1 or 2 minutes?
Yeah, just about a minute we can manage. Let's go.
If
So he
I'm
knows
allo-
when I'm allowed to interrupt him.
So,
All right, go ahead, Vivek.
okay, right. Look, I had a manufacturing group known as the Priafil Group, which manufactures technical textiles used in agriculture and packaging. I always invoke my father's memory, late R.M. Prabhu, who established in 1972, like I just said. Well, I've been a Rotarian since 1994 and I've thoroughly enjoyed being one. Perhaps one reason being the principles laid down in the Rotary four-way test and the values that are bequeathed to me by my father and the way we practice the business. My company logo, which I'm really very proud about, is weaving trust into lasting relationships. If lasting relationships be the measure of this trust and the adherence to the principles of the four-way test, then I sincerely believe that I have lived by the four-way test. My father established dealerships all over the country, almost 4 decades ago. And now I deal with the second generation. So that is the strength of our long-lasting relationships, almost 44 years. The confidence of your customers in you is without doubt based on a relationship based on trust, fairness in business dealings, the goodwill you're able to earn by the commitment to your promises and quality of your products, and the wealth and benefit you're able to create to all stakeholders. I have been asked to focus on the third of the four-way test, with a focus on our suppliers and vendors, which is an important part of our business, because my business is highly decentralized. We produce the yarn, and we have about 80 vendors whom we call fabricators, who convert it into various different kinds of fabrics used in different applications. So I asked the question, have we built a goodwill and better friendship with this group of stakeholders of our business? I can confidently state that we have. As I said, our product line is highly decentralized, and we have about 80 such fabricators or vendors. And we produce about anywhere between 18 to 20 lakh meters a month. All over South India, mind you. We have these vendors located in Bangalore, in Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu, and also in Andhra Pradesh. So we deal with a varied group of people, some of whom we have developed from just being weavers, to owners of their own companies. So they have grown along with us. How do we do this? Firstly, we have established a very well laid out system clearly documenting this technical specifications of various varieties and the commercial expectations as to how much does he expect and whether the market conditions permit us to pay them that much. Okay. And we are open to, always open to upgradation and change from time to time. There are a lot of market dynamics which force us or which will compel us to change whatever we have decided today. And we have a dedicated team of people handling this particular base of vendors, about 4 of them, headed by a general manager. Well, this is a mundane aspect of manufacturing.
Super, Vivek.
Just let me give you 130 seconds.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like I'm doing Arnab Goswami right now.
Yeah. That's why I lifted one finger. Well, this is the mundane aspect of manufacturing, how we have generated goodwill. You may ask, how have we generated goodwill and better friendship? Once again, if lasting relationships be the measure of trust, confidence, and credibility, then we can boast the fact that most of our vendors have been with us for more than 30 years. The eggers being only 5 years.
Very nice.
Okay? These lasting bonds have been obviously forged on the basis of the 3 other parts of the 4-way test. We have been truthful in our interaction, we have been fair in all our dealings, and above all, we have worked with the principle of mutual benefits.
Fantastic, wonderful. So let me play a little difficult role, and let me begin with you, Ambika. Ever felt that no, let's give up this 4-way test?
I don't think so, because your beliefs have to be strong from within, and if you do, I don't think you would ever even think of doing the wrong things, because you're concentrating on doing the positive, right things. So why would you even think of giving up 4-way tests?
Wonderful. Vivek?
Yes, I have been tempted to. Let us be practical. In India, doing business in India has to be based on, let's say, practical philosophy, if you can call it that. So what I try to do is compartmentalize in any such situation where I have to compromise on the principles which I believe will take you a long way.
All right.
In that situation, I always weigh it against this fact. If I have to compromise, is it for the larger good? And if I believe it is for the larger good.
No, we're talking only about the third part, which is your vendors.
No, on that there is no compromise.
On that there's no compromise. Yeah, that's the answer I was looking for. Venkatesh, employees.
All my employees can teach 4-way test to anybody today. 120 people knows 4-way test, and they've been trained, they talk 4-way test. And I begin my journey with 4-way test to change them.
Wonderful. How nice is that? Vishu, I'll quickly bring you into this conversation. You've been hearing a 4-way test for the last so many years. Your take on all the 4.
I'm a charter member of Midtown. I was 26 when I became a Rotarian. And I was 36 when I became a governor.
Wow.
Right from the day we were chartered, the first thing that my club did was to give me the 4-way test. And that particular four-way test was framed, kept in my office, displayed in my office, and I would read it, and try to follow the same principles. I've had outstanding successes in my business. I was into a variety of businesses. I've had including outstanding failures. But the four-way test had become a part of my life, and the four-way test is what a good state to me when I had to face all those problems when I had the failure. In fact, even now, I have a very challenging task of completing one of the major failures, but I have not given up. There have been times when the conference exposed, like what Vivek mentioned about vendors, suppliers, and all of them, I've sold an asset to close all those liabilities. Today, I had a very medium-scale finance company which went not because of my leadership. I was just the director of that, but I took on the responsibility myself to say to that, being a Rotarian, it's my duty to stand up to all those 700 and odd depositors of mine. I sold one more asset. I settled something where they were expecting zero. They were very, very happy. And I've completed almost 95% of them.
Wow.
There are just 5 more %, and I've asked them to wait a couple of months. It's a sacrifice that you do to follow the four-way test. And believe me, I take pride in saying that I've encountered this failure in a phase of life when I've retired from all my business activities. I mentioned that I had achievements in my life. I have won 21 export awards for agarbattis.
Wow.
I was exporting to over 64 countries, including Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Mexico, US, Canada, about 30 countries in Africa alone. And to see failure after all this success and achievements over a period of time, it becomes difficult. I did not want to set a bad example to my children and the next generation. I said, I'll take all the blame onto myself for somebody else's mistakes or whatever wrong decisions we had taken. I will ensure that everybody will be fairly compensated, and I believe I must earn that goodwill, which will be very
Wonderful,
beneficial
wonderful.
to all.
What a story, what a share. So let me come back to you, Ambika. Let's say I am a new employee who's just joining your company. And I've come into your room and I'm seeing this four-way test and I say, what's this all about? So what are you going to tell me?
It's a way of life, about what you believe.
And how we practice it in our company. That's
Yes.
what I want.
Yeah, it's a way of life, how we believe, what we practice. Basically to make sure that you're in the company and the company is providing you all the facilities and the opportunity to learn better. And it's not just about being in this company. When you go ahead and form your own life, these are principles that need to be applied for each and every situations that you come across.
All right. Venkatesh, just imagine I'm joining your company. What will you tell me about the four-way test?
If you ask, if I directly meet him is fine, but we are having an open session in the morning. We do the prayer and also we read four-way test, and every person will come every day. And obviously interest will go to him also. One day he will also come. And we train on four-way test in the morning only. We do the prayer, we do the Gayatri Mantra. We every day read the four-way test. And we explain them. Exactly, we have also evaluated further on the four-way test. So we gave a big training because we don't want to keep it there only. Somebody, when I was coming in a flight, I asked him, every year I'm giving so much Rotary. He said, the inflation has gone up by you multiply it. So similar way, I always believe strongly that we should not stagnate with the four-way test alone. We have to further evaluate, further elaborate it, and make them to understand in a different form. If there is no time for you to give me, otherwise I can tell what is that I am teaching them four-way in different line, in different level.
Very nice.
Ram,
Very nice.
RRF want to say something.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
I can't resist.
Yes.
I was appreciated your testimony, especially Vishnu. It's easy to be right, to be positive when things are flowing smoothly for you. When things go wrong, and nothing in life is assured, we all run risks and we take chances. And we make decisions, and sometimes we let people make decisions on our behalf that do not necessarily correspond to our beliefs, but we have to respond. We do. And I really appreciate your testimony, because this is the right way to go. My father once told me, son, the shortcut is the longest road between 2 points.
Nice.
If it appears to be easy, do not trust it.
Absolutely.
Nothing is easy. If it's easy, it might be also wrong. I was president of the Printing Association in Brazil for 8 years, and as such, I was invited by government officials to make a presentation about the Brazilian printing industry. 20,000 small print shops, basically family run. 20 less people employed. Total 250,000 people employed in the country. And then after that conversation with the major buyers in ministries and government buyers, I was called for a private talk. And I didn't quite understand the proposition. Being Brazil, And after a